Dude, stop being angsty teen, open up! Hello and welcome to my sphere. Good, now I have your attention. I'll be talking about Imperial Japan in the Meiji Era. What is imperial and imperialism? Imperial is related to royal, and imperialism is when a country is influenced by military force or ruled by an emperor. What's going to happen? Emperor Mitsuhito, Matthew Perry, and the Meiji Restoration are the main elements to start off this era. Key: Mitsuhito and Meiji are the same person. Do not get confused. Japan back then looked like this. The capital didn't have an official location because, believe it or not, Japan had over 122 heavenly super people, or emperors for short. And boy, it would have been annoying with the capital having to move every time. The military was in charge. Before Emperor Meiji, Japan closed themselves out so no one could come in or out. They didn't want their religion going away and the dangers of the pressure from China as well. That's when this foreigner, Matthew Perry, went to Japan and was like, dude, stop being an angsty teen and open up. Japan was like, no. So Matt made the Treaty of Kanagawa in 1854, which said, according to the terms of the treaty, Japan would protect stranded seamen and open 2 ports for refueling and pro-visiting American ships, Shimodara and Hakone. Japan also gave the United States the right to appoint consuls to live in these port cities, a privilege not previously granted to foreign nations. This means that if America was in a pickle, they could trade with Japan at certain seaport ports for supplies. I mean, this was big and eventually led to the Meiji Restoration, and that's pretty Western. The Meiji Restoration is where they restore the imperial ruling under Emperor Meiji. The leaders were a bunch of young samurais that wanted to stand equal with the Western power. When America made Japan open up, that triggered Shitsu and Satsuma to take down the shogun. They made Edo, or the eastern capital, as the permanent capital, as their first action. The restoration gave Japan military, political, and economic strength. They had the yen currency, which gave the bank an economic growth. They also developed heavy industries of mining, shipping, and rail transport. The country had a dozen warships, 500 well-trained soldiers, and possibly the strongest military power in Asia. That's how they showed their strength through the SinoJapanese War and the RussoJapanese War. The SinoJapanese War happened when Japan decided to invade Korea and forcibly opened 3 ports for the Japanese trade. China saw this and was like, how dare you hurt my Sumindi? They're my trading and military spot. So China created a hands-off treaty, where both sides promised not to send their soldiers to Korea. China broke this promise and a rebellion broke out against Korea's king. The war only lasted for a few months, and during that Japan gained Manchuria. 1855 is when a peace treaty was made for both countries. When Japan won the Sino-Japanese War, it changed the world's balance of power. I mean, if you saw a small shrimp take down a big crab, you'd be scared too. Japan and Russia are both major power countries and enemies. And oh my god, they went to war over Korea's land and Manchuria. 1898 is when Russia pressured China to claim a port and to make an alliance with China to go against Japan. Nevertheless, Japan won the rights to extend the Trans-Siberian Railroad. Because Russia was the one who made the railroad, it still lacked the necessities and supplies. In 1904, the actual war started, and Japan surprised Russia with an attack, and later on, Japan had an army that overran Korea. They pushed forward, which caused Russia to go back and lose minor battles. The last battle was fought in Mukden with 330,000 Russian soldiers and 270 soldiers for Japan. With both parties damaged heavily, Russia decided to back down from the fight, and the battle ended with 89,000 Russian soldiers and 71,000 Japanese soldiers. Then there's the Battle of Tsushima. Yeah, Japan had the upper hand and won, despite being financially exhausted. Japan and Russia got tired of fighting, and in 1905, Japan asked President Theodore to draft a peace compromise to Russia. Russia didn't want to pay their war costs and were forced to accept the treaty. Japan got Korea and a lot of South Manchuria. Russia was pushed out of Manchuria and was told to stay out of Korea. Japan today has the population of 127.3 million people. Japan's financial is more sturdy than a decade ago and is doing a well job of having more population than human population. Overall, I feel that Russia was a huge bully throughout the era because, I mean, they forced China to become allies to attack Japan and argued who got the land. Sounds like Russia is a brat, and Japan is trying to be like the bigger nations, only be seen as an attention seeker.